Why pay Christian musicians?
You are a pastor, you call a music minister who charge you and you pay. God will judge you.
I heard pastors saying, don't pay no musician. Don't let me go.
Imagine this. A man dedicates his life to his craft. He spends hours perfecting his skills, studying, practicing, and serving. And when he asks for a fair compensation, the response is, you are doing it for God and you shouldn't be paid. As a musician myself, I decided several years back that I would not charge any church for playing. So I began to use my musical skills to profit in a secular environment. I taught music in schools, wrote a music book, and currently I own a music brand that shares musical insights and ideas for profit ultimately. But I still can't make this a standard. It is never wrong to play in church and get paid. But wait, why do churches pay preachers, administrators, and even security guards, but expect musicians to work for free? The debate is everywhere. Some say church musicians should be paid.
Any musician that plays and plays skillfully, put them on payroll.
Others say it is a spiritual calling and not a career.
If your calling is ministry, then you can't pay, you can't charge.
But in this video, I will be exposing the truth. I want to make an honest appeal to you. Please make sure you watch this video till the end so that you will not misjudge me at any point. And you can click the subscription button down below and hit that notification bell for more updates from us. Now let's dive in. Many musicians sacrifice their time, energy, and resources for church music. Some play multiple services every week but can't even afford transportation to church. Others invest in expensive instruments and rehearsals but struggle to pay their rent. Churches expect professional excellence from them, but refuse to acknowledge their financial struggles. Do you know that in the Bible, church musicians are paid? 1 Chronicles chapter 9 verse 33 says, temple musicians were exempt from other duties because their full-time job was to minister with music and they were supported. But yet, many churches have big budgets but have refused to compensate musicians fairly. Why? Let's consider this. Why it is valid and a standard for church musicians to be adequately compensated. There are a lot of reasons why this arrangement may not work for everyone. Let's look into this and consider it properly. Because if we don't, we will continue on this endless argument of whether church musicians should be paid or not. The first thing that settles this whole issue is an understanding of the difference between ministry and business. Ministry means to serve. That is service to God and people. It is often motivated by faith and a sense of calling. Ministry can be full-time or bivocational. Bivocational is used for those who engage in other professions to support themselves. Ministry is a calling and a voluntary service to God because the goal of ministry is for service and the priority is always an unrelentless service and labor. And you should be willing to continue serving whether you are being paid or not, because your service is first unto God. So then, you must now learn to live by faith and trust God for your daily needs and supply. You see, the Bible makes it clear that those who serve in ministry, whether pastors, musicians, or teachers, shouldn't have to struggle to survive. God always ensured his ministers were provided for. Jesus reinforced this saying in Luke 10 verse 7. He said, the workers deserve his wages. And Paul confirmed it by saying, those who preach the gospel should receive their living from the gospel. This means their needs are to be met and taken care of by the church, as their service to God and his people is their full-time calling. Just as the Levites in the Old Testament were sustained by the offerings of the people, those in ministry today should be supported so that they can focus on their God-given assignment without distractions. Note this. Everyone can do ministry. It is not limited to only people in the church. You can serve God with your profession. For example, a doctor, a lawyer, or any other professional can decide to offer his service for free, either as a ministration unto God or for any other related reasons. Recently, I got to know of a hospital located in West Virginia, USA. It is called Gerson Heights Institute, owned by Patch Adams. All their services are free. Patch Adams believes that healthcare is a human right, not a business. He also believes that medical care should be based on compassion, humor, and community rather than profit. The hospital operates on donations, volunteer work, and alternative funding instead of charging patients. Okay, let's explain the business part of this. Business is an organized activity that provides goods and services in exchange for financial compensation. It operates on the principles of profitability, professionalism, and sustainability. They are musicians whose interest is strictly financial profit. They demand pay for their services, and that's not bad if it is well defined and reasonable. But one of the biggest disadvantages to this kind of arrangement is that it leads them to focus so much on the bag, and they start going from one church to another in search of the highest bidder. And it gradually denies them every possibility to belong to a church family, to have doctrinal persuasion, conviction, and even to grow and mature as a Christian. It can also turn worship into a performance, exploit people for profit, and prioritize money over ministry. Therefore, balance is key. Overall, we must define things from the get-go. Don't leave room for any assumptions. Let us know if you are out there chasing the bag as a musician or if you are doing music ministry. As I said earlier, don't get me wrong. You can get paid as someone in the music ministry, but if it is truly ministry that you are doing and you don't get paid, you will still stick around because your purpose for doing this is way bigger than any earthly compensation or rewards. People invite musicians for different reasons, either for their administration prowess, their musicianship, their knowledge and their skills, or to leverage their popularity to pull in crowds for conferences and concerts. And all of these attributes takes time to build. Don't even compare musicians with some other department in church. How many hours of rehearsals are needed to be a good usher in comparison to building a musical skill? It is totally different and more taxing. So it is with some other skill-based workers in church, like the video editors, graphic designers, and all. Let me share a thought that you must consider and think about. A secular artist can get paid $1 million or more to show up at a private party, feature in a big concert, and also for other deals. So let me ask you, which church is going to pay you $1 million for a single ministration currently? This is just to tell you that if we all don't learn to live by faith and trust God ultimately for increase and supply, we are never going to measure up or stand shoulder to shoulder with any secular musicians financially. Just think about that. So now, let's go back to the main question. Why pay musicians in church? We pay them for their exceptional skills, resources spent, time expended, years of hard work and dedication. However, no minister of the gospel should charge for ministrations. At the same time, no church or ministry should invite any minister without abundantly honoring them financially. True ministry thrives when service and honor go hand in hand. But for the strictly business musicians, I will advise you stay away from the church. The church already has a lot to deal with. Now, adding financial negotiation to the mix may create more tension. If your primary motivation is financial gain, you may find yourself frustrated and disappointed. Instead, focus on an environment that aligns with your financial goal, where you think your skills are fully appreciated and compensated. So, should musicians be paid in church? You decide. See you in the next video. Bye!